Okay, this is going to be a rant on Nintendo and why Nintendo will soon be going out of business. Nintendo has been around for over 25 years. Gaming-wise, Nintendo was actually founded in the 1800s. Fact, they started doing trading cards around Japan. But it wasn't until the 1980s when it was really popular and it was, growing. So basically the Atari was made, the Atari 2600, and around 1986 or so, or 1985, the Atari was getting old and no one really wanted it. So around 1983 was a famous video game crash, where all video game related products started going downhill and there was barely any interest in video games. So then Nintendo came on with the Nintendo Entertainment System, which made the gaming industry live on. Fact. But when it comes to Nintendo actually making good decisions, they haven't been making good decisions since the 90s. So let's start off with the NES. The NES was a success. It was a great system. It had good 8-bit titles and it had all that crap in it. But it really wasn't a great system until they had Super Mario Brothers. Not really, but people said that Mario revolutionized the gaming industry. No, it was the system itself, not the crappy Mario games. But besides that, the NES was a great system, and they did make a few errors, like the Power Glove, which was just crap, and the robot guy, Robot Rob, I think his name was, I don't know, Rob the Robot. But yeah, then Sega came into the mix, right before the SNES came out, and the Genesis was doing well. You had titles like Sonic the Hedgehog, and Nintendo knew that they needed to get into the 16-bit race. So they made Super Nintendo. And Super Nintendo was another great system. They had, more crappy Mario games, but then they had great games. But it wasn't until around the N64, really the GameCube time, because the N64 is a great system too. It had a lot of great games, but also a lot of bad ones that were overpraised. But it wasn't until the last three systems that they made, which really weren't good. Okay, so let's start off with the GameCube. So the GameCube was made in around 2001, after the Dreamcast was failing, and Sega waved the white flag and quit the hardware race. So then Microsoft and Nintendo competed with the PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 2 overall won the console race because they had a way larger library and a greater value. But then it didn't stop Nintendo fanboys to praise the GameCube to be the best system ever, except for the Nintendo 64, but you know what I mean. But Nintendo GameCube sucked for many reasons. One reason is because the controller. The Nintendo GameCube controller was terrible. It had a creeping octagon analog stick, which was just uncomfortable, and the right stick felt like a broken PS2 analog stick. And then the buttons were in awkward positions, and it just wasn't a great controller. Every game felt uncomfortable. That's why not a lot of FPSs that were on the PS2 and Xbox were also on the GameCube. That's why. Because FPS games don't work well in Nintendo GameCube. But then, also the GameCube didn't have a DVD player. And DVD market was booming back then, because of the PlayStation 2. But, Nintendo cheaped out and didn't have a DVD player, which made people eventually buy PlayStation 2s instead of buying GameCubes. So then, after the Nintendo GameCube was released and no one really cared about the GameCube anymore. People more cared about the other generation, the HD era. So then Nintendo was like, wow, look at all these HD graphics. Look at the Xbox 360. Look at the PlayStation 3, which is about to come out. We're not gonna care about graphics. We're not gonna care about graphics at all. We're just gonna recycle the GameCube, and we're gonna add a gimmick to it. Yeah. So we're gonna add. Let's see. We're going to add motion controls. We're geniuses. All you need to do is flick your remote and you win. Seriously, the motion control market didn't really revolutionize much. The motion controller was just not motion. It was just, oh look, there's your sensor bar and you need to wave your controller and you win the game. So then, the Wii was a success, considered, but it didn't really sell well since around 08-09. So then Nintendo the Wii didn't have a DVD player either, and then they were like, you know, we really made a bad decision with this HD stuff. But before we make the Wii U, we're going to make a new Wii. That's right, we're going to make a new Wii, a new design, and it's going to be the same exact thing, except you can't play GameCube games. Yeah, even though the Wii and the GameCube is the same graphics and same power, we're going to cheap out and you can only play Wii games, so that in the future, we'll sell the GameCube titles as DLC, and we're going to keep making money on GameCube games. Genius. But I don't know. I think that the Nintendo really messed up on the Wii U too, because then the Wii U came out and we're like, Nintendo, okay, we're gonna make the Wii U now, because the Wii hasn't been impressive since day one. So what we're gonna do is make HD Nintendo, so we regain our hardcore audience, right? But get this, we still won't have a DVD player, because DVD players are so outdated. No one cares about DVDs anymore, even though the DVD market's still alive. And you see thousands and thousands of DVDs in Walmart and everywhere else. We don't care. The DVD market sucks. We're just gonna throw Netflix on there, because, you know, everyone goes on Netflix, right? And then, along with our crappy 3DS system, which is also underpowered and only has one analog stick, we're going to make the Wii U. And then we're going to also have a terrible CPU. A very slow CPU that will frustrate developers. And that's why we don't have a lot of titles now. So, and then, yeah, we're getting rid of the friend code. Woo! No friend code, yeah! People hated the friend code on the Wii, but then we're going to have a day one update. Yeah, they're gonna love it. We're gonna have like a 10-hour long update, and it'll just, you know, the gamers are gonna love it. When they buy their new Wii U, they're not gonna want to play it. They're gonna want to wait and sit at their screen all day and look at their freaking loading time on their update. Yeah, that's such a great decision. We're Nintendo, we're awesome. And then get this. On day one, we're gonna have all of your favorite 360 games. Yeah, we're gonna have all the games that were released on the 360. And then we're gonna have Mario, because anything with Mario slapped onto it, you know we're gonna sell well. So then Mario is gonna sell well with the rehash. Yeah, rehash, yeah. And you barely recognize the HD. Yeah, okay, I'm done with the joking now. But Nintendo, the reason why Nintendo's going out of business is because they're failing totally. They've made crappy systems for way too long. And sure, the Nintendo fans are praising it, but that's all about there is. Without the Mario fanboys, Nintendo would be dead. And hopefully Nintendo would be dead soon, because Nintendo's losing its, you know, its novelty. Nintendo, all of it's been is a novelty, not an actual system. Nintendo Wii is just like a toy. It's not an actual piece of hardware. So, really, Nintendo's gonna go out of business soon, and I don't care. So, I don't know. I'll see you later. I just don't like this whole stuff about Nintendo keep screwing up. Because I was looking forward to the Wii U, but then it just... oh, man, it sucks. Never gonna get a Wii U in my life. I'm gonna promise that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Nintendo has actually made a lot of great handheld systems. It's just, that's why I didn't mention the handheld too much. But the 3DS was kind of disappointing too. But I was mainly focusing on the consoles. But yeah, thanks for watching this video about Nintendo and how I'm disappointed. And I'll see you later.